Why is an AWS weld certification important to your career? Well, stick around because we're going to talk about certification versus qualification and the AWS Certified Welder Program. When welders talk about certification, it's a term that is used loosely throughout the industry. A welder can be qualified by a company. Typically, for a welder to be qualified or certified through a company, you're going to show up at the job site or a test facility that's authorized for that company, and you're going to take a weld test to their WPS, to their parameters, to their standards. Most often, there will be a continuity log. So once you test in with that particular company, if you're having good shots on welds throughout the time that you work with that company, you may bounce out to a different company, but if you're back within 3 to 6 months, then you typically don't have to take another weld test because your continuity is still good. However, if you bounced out and you didn't return to that particular weld company for a year or more, most likely that company is going to have you coming in and taking a new welding test. Be cautious on the word qualified versus certified. There are a lot of places that will talk about a certification and who is the author or the person who deems that certification important. In other words, who's standing behind that document? Is it a mom and pop type of a welding company that isn't recognized throughout the world? Or is that certification through a national organization, a national company, like some of the big players in the industry? At KWI, we are an accredited test facility for the American Welding Society. So our graduates are going to earn AWS certified welder cards. This is a big difference between a company certification. These certifications that KWI offers are so important on the job site because industry recognizes the certification. To be an accredited test facility, there are a lot of things and a lot of strict standards that AWS holds those accredited test facilities like Kentucky Welding Institute to. These standards are recognized in industry. In other words, if you're brand new to welding, most companies are going to look for 2 to 3, maybe 5 years of experience before you can come in. Well, that's a catch-22. You just graduated welding school. You don't have all the experience, so how in the world are you even going to get the phone call to go take the welding test to get on the job? So we stack your resume full of AWS certifications. So when the folks in HR are flipping through the multiple resumes that they get to bring in people to the testing location or directly to the job, they're going to see all those AWS certifications right at the top of your resume, and it's going to prove that you have taken a weld test under the strict AWS standards and that you can get it done. So in other words, your resume, your AWS certifications are going to get you on the job. Now, a lot of places are going to argue, well, why do I need a certification? Because I'm going to have to test when I get to the job as well. And I think that's what that resume does. That AWS certification proves that you can do it under those strict conditions, under the authorization and the guidance of a CWI, a certified welding inspector. So these are the men and women who are going to say that your test is going to pass or your test is going to be unsuccessful. Once you get to the job site, you may have to reprove by taking that weld test for that company. In some instances, you're going to go right onto the job because there are companies throughout America and throughout the world that recognize that AWS certified wallet card, and you don't have to test when you get to the job. Other companies are going to make you test according to their particular standards. So hopefully that helps you determine the difference between an AWS weld certification versus a company certification or qualification. Both are important in the industry, but if I'm new to welding, I need a lot of AWS certifications on the top of my resume so that I can get those calls for those great job opportunities.
So hopefully you guys like this video. We'll be putting out more videos on our YouTube channel, so subscribe to that. And also check out our website. We have links and we also have shop for clothing and a virtual tour. Until next time,